Imagine starting with 0 followers, no likes, no comments, no engagement, nothing. But what if I told you I could rebuild it all from scratch and make it even bigger? Today, I'm gonna show you exactly how I'd do it if I was to start all over again. And if you wanna see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button, and let's build this together. And that brings me to number 1, is to figure out your niche and your target audience. What do I mean by figuring out your niche and target audience? I want you to get specific on who you want to speak to. It could be first-time home buyers. You could have a niche with new construction homes, specific area that you want to focus on. For me, luxury homes. I wanted to luxury clients. That's who my target audience was, luxury clients. I wanted to speak to them. I wanted them to consume my content. So what did I do? I started creating content that I figured, okay, what do these people like? What do they like to see? And so that was my target niche. It could be investors that you guys want to target. There's so many things, so many niches around the real estate space, but you have to get specific and talk about this so you could become the go-to expert. So when you niche down, I know it may sound crazy and you're only targeting one thing, but it really literally makes you the go-to expert at what you're speaking about. So figure out your niche, go in on it. For me, it was luxury. I would post luxury things, cars, watches, suits, lifestyle content. That's just what I wanted to do and who I wanted to focus on. And that's who I started to attract. That's the type of clients I started to attract by the content that I was creating. Home tours also. When I would tour luxury homes, I was associating myself with luxury. That put me in position as the go-to expert. I know I was just starting out, that I would miss the first-time home buyers and this and that, but you can also talk and say you do all price points if that's something that scares you and you don't just work with high-end clientele. But for me, that's what I did. It made me the go-to person here on Instagram. So that brings me to number 2, is that you have to create a content strategy. So having a content strategy is like basketball. So let's take, for instance, any basketball team and they're going into a game. Do they just go into the game and start shooting the ball and not executing plays? They actually have a game plan going into it. And this is the same thing. It goes for content creation for you, in order to be successful, and any team that is successful that I watch, is that they execute based on their game plan. So you have to have a game plan. And for me, I'll tell you my game plan. And this is what's going to keep you consistent. This is going to keep you from just posting sporadically and also not giving up. Because if you have a content calendar, you will continue to create content. And this is, again, having a game plan, and it's very important. So number 1, I think I'd use is Notion. I use Notion. What this does is it gives me all the topics that I want to speak about. It gives me an outline of, okay, here's the topic that I'm going to speak to. Here's how I'm speaking to this luxury clientele. Here's how I'm solving their problem. It also gives me when to record, what to record, to edit it. Everything's all organized through this Notion template that I have. So make sure that you have a content calendar. It could be Notion, it could be whatever you like to use. If you want to use my template, comment your email below so I can email this template over to you if you don't have one. Yeah, so that brings me to how often are you going to post? And this is something that you have to get realistic about and see, okay, you're just starting out. How often can you post? Can you post 1 video per day? Can you do 2 videos per week, 3 videos per week? This is all going to be all upon your content strategy. What can you do to execute? So come up with how often you're going to post, and it could be you're posting reels and photos, but every single time that you're posting, you just got to make sure, okay, this is how I'm going to post 3 reels and then 1 photo, and that's good for my week, and I'm going to continuously do that every single week. It could be 4 or 5 reels, and then also stories. Let's not forget about stories, and that's posting it every day. You could post multiple times per day on stories for your audience to truly connect with you, to truly understand, okay, I am dealing with Sean, and this is who he is. He's authentic, he's being real, and that's how people get to know you and how they get to start liking you because you're posting real deal things about anything that goes on in your stories. It has to be raw. It has to be you. You can't fake it. So that's what gravitates people towards you, is if you continuously speak and consistently speak on stories. So how often are you going to post reels, photos, and stories? Remember that those are the key things that I would be posting consistently, and that's what I did, is just posting consistent reels, consistent photos, and telling a story as well. I like to tell a story whenever I'm making a post. So after figuring out your content strategy and having a plan, so that brings me to step number 3, is to engage. It's not only about posting, but it's also about engaging and building a community. Take time out of your day. So I take 1 hour of my day, this is per day, to engage. So 1 hour a day to engage with your audience. Even if you don't have a new following, you could put it on stories. And what I like to do is I like to utilize those stickers, the story stickers that you can put on and have polls on there. You could ask me a question. You could ask your audience, what would they like to see more from you? And so engaging, not just commenting on posts and also commenting on stories, but also posting on your stories and asking your audience questions on what would they like to see from you. And also just bringing them into your stories and talking about what you're going through behind the scenes, engaging with them, having them comment or having them DM you if they've experienced something similar, or if they want to see a certain type of property to shoot you a DM. But you have to engage with them. You have to be raw. This is something that I truly believe it will be the biggest thing, is engaging and engaging with your audience. And I literally have been doing this since 2016, and I want to tell you that this is the best way to grow your platform, is to engage with your audience. Don't act like you're too good for them, because this is a two-way street. It's not just you posting and giving value. Also, it's you talking to them and asking them if it was helpful, or if they want to see more videos like that. Or you just have to make sure that you ask for feedback, because that's the best way to grow. And if your audience is telling you what they would like to see, it's best to post that type of content and show that you are listening to them. So yes, make sure to engage with your audience at least 1 hour per day. Make sure you're commenting, make sure you're replying to stories. And even if you have no one you know, you could find people on social media anywhere through hashtags, through similar things that you like. And that's how Instagram works, is it pushes out content to what you're interested in. If you look at your explore feed, it will show you all of the things that you're interested in, that you have engaged with, that you've liked, that you've watched. And that's how this works. So if you put out that content that people will engage with and that you're consistently posting, this will grow your following and this will grow your business on social media. Another thing that I would do is, after you've made your posts, after you made 100 videos and 100 posts, let's just say you've posted 100 times, you want to analyze the things and also adapt. So analyze your top performing content. So analyze your content, see what performed the best. So look at your engagement, look at what was the most watched video, the most viewed, the most commented, the ones that was most engaging, and then redo these videos. And the more you talk about this subject, the more you talk about it, you become the expert. So you could do these educational videos, you could do these home tours, you could just be talking about all the pain points and everything that you're solving for your ideal audience. For me, it's luxury clients like I was talking about earlier. So I would always post high-end homes. I was at open houses at $5 million, $10 million, $15 million homes. I would always associate myself with that. And I would also bring them into my stories. So analyze, and I would look to see which one was the highest performing ones. For me, it would be the luxury home tours, and also me in my stories behind the scenes talking about what I'm showcasing. If it wasn't my listing, it doesn't have to be. You just have to get permission from the listing agent and create the stories, create the content anywhere you're going, any home that you're touring. Make sure to get content, make sure to talk in front of the camera so people could connect with you. And again, analyze and look at the stats and then recreate the top performing pieces. I like to recycle content multiple times. If I knew it performed a year ago, I'll try it again and see if it performs well. And then if it does, I'll do it again and again. But if it doesn't, I'll have to adapt and recreate content and figure out, because things are always changing with social media. If you take a look at my posts back in the days, 8 years ago, it's definitely not the same as the same content that I'm posting today. Just make sure to measure and see what performs and what doesn't perform, and then always adapt to it. Last but not least, that takes me to number 5, patience and persistence. Most people post for 1 week and they think that they're gonna get so many views and go viral. Hey, maybe you do, but that's not the case. You have to think of this as running a marathon. This isn't a sprint, this is a marathon. And in order to be successful is that you can't look for instant gratification when doing this social media content. I say go through this for a whole year straight, not expecting to get any deals, and just put out the content, put out the valuable information and educational information to your clients. And then after a year, if nothing happens, then you'll have to look back and see what you're doing. But don't go into this thinking that you're gonna get a deal immediately. Go into this knowing that this is long term, and that in order to be successful on Instagram or TikTok and doing short form content is that you have to be consistent, consistently showing up on the camera, consistently posting, showing your stories. It's all about consistency. You gotta just remember to trust the process and know that it takes time. It's the mindset. It's literally like going to the gym. And I like to always refer back to going to the gym because it's the same exact thing. How do I know my muscles are gonna grow if I go to the gym once? It's not. But if I go and continue to do this and I put in the repetition and I get all my reps in and I do it consistently for a year, then I will see if something's changed in my mind and also body. And that's the same thing in how you should approach social media, is that this is long term. It takes repetition to get better and showing up. And that's what it is. It's literally a mindset to be consistent. And people don't believe that you can get deals from social media, but you really can. You can literally build a multi-million-dollar business just like I have with my twin brother on using Instagram and TikTok. You could build the same exact thing as long as you trust the process. Now that you've got my blueprint on how I would rebuild if I had to start from zero, now's the time for you to take action. And that's the number one thing, is taking action. That's the hardest thing for people to do, but that's how you win. You take action. Again, progress over perfection. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button below, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching.